How's it going, YouTube? A Knife Stow here, bringing you an unboxing today. The unboxing knife today will be whatever's within reach, which happens to be the Kaiser Genie. So, there's a reason for this one. I wanted to make a comparison to a knife that I recently did a review on. And I thought, well, a knife does exist that makes for a good comparison. So I went and just bought it. Holy crap, there's a bunch of stuff in this box. What the heck else is in this box? Whatever the heck that is. That was in the box. Really? Okay. Flytanium, really? Ways to enjoy your dead fly toy. Throw out your rubber ducky and take a bath with it. Show it to grandma. Sorry if she's disgusted. Okay. Introduce it to your lover. Oh, interesting. And set it up on a date with your mom. Or just stick it on your shelf and stare at it. Okie dokie then. I don't know what the point of that is, but... And I guess this is a knife case? Knife care kit. This knife came with this. I was not aware of any of this. I probably would have if I had paid more attention. So, unboxing for you, surprise for me. Let's see what comes in the Flytanium care kit. A knife lubricant. What I imagine is Loctite. Yeah, basically. And okay, I get what one end is, but what the heck's the other end? That clearly is for cleaning with the brush. What the heck is that for? That's quite sharp. I guess I have no idea. And it all came in a kit. Okay. Interesting. The kit may become a knife pouch. Or just go back in your stuff in there. I guess getting lint out, maybe? Oh. Scrape stuff out of the jimping? Or fine areas, maybe? I'm not sure. I mean, I kind of feel like this would do it too, but sure. Well, that's nice to see. Didn't pay for any of that, so is what it is. But as you can see, this is the knife. As I recently reviewed the Demco AD 20.5 and found it lacking. Oh, and what the heck is this? Additional grips? Or additional inlays? I didn't know it came with two sets. Interesting. They seem like G10. But I found that lacking because of... Well, it didn't know what it was doing. It was trying to be a EDC knife that was thin and light duty, but had hard use geometry and poor ergos and blah 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 blah. So I grabbed one of these. It uses the same shark lock, but this is the Arcade by Flytanium, who normally makes knife aftermarket accessories. Okay. About the same level of retention as the AD 20.5. Not quite as immediately smooth in the pivot. But not bad. Let's see about the reverse lick. Yeah, that's going to be hard on this one. That's one thing I think the AD 20.5 did well. they have a reverse flicking hole that lets you get better leverage. You give it a little wrist, you can get it, but okay, you can kind of get it. It's not satisfying. Yeah, I think the hole aperture is probably a better method for this because it allows you to really get a better grip, which you need when it doesn't have much of a detent. Yeah, and I'm just slipping off this thing. And again, it does feel like it's got a little bit of maybe grime in the pivot, so might need a cleaning out. Compared to the 80-20, oh, seriously? Off center too, just like the 80-20.5. Is this made by the same people? Please tell me it's not made by the same people. That doesn't bode well. Inlays are T6, great, don't love that. With a T6, Torx, and handles, the handles at least are T8. Really? That doesn't look like T8. Let's see. That doesn't look a whole lot like T8 to me. The inlays can be swapped with a T6 Torx and handles with a T8 Torx. So are there other underlying screws? Yeah, that's a T6. We're going on an adventure here because I really just kind of went into this thing blind. No. Okay, so that's a lie. That's a straight up lie. The pivot's a T8. Actually, it feels like it might be a T9. Yeah, that's... Is that just... Is that just purely and completely labeled incorrectly? Let's see. That may be a T10. Okay, so that does not bode well for the Flytanium, considering their own little anatomy of your knife says the handles with a T8 Torx. That's a T10. Alright, well, we are having a real bad time with this so far. So, much like the 80-20.5, it's a T10 pivot and T6 body screws. Though these do feel slightly better body screws wise than the T6 on the 80-20.5, but only marginally. Very marginally. Okay, how about play? There's play there. Back comes out the T10. Here I was thinking it was going to be solid. Stupid, stupid me. Okay, play is gone. So is the action. Okay. No. Okay, the action is mostly back. It's still a little stiff, honestly. Yeah, it's not dropping. And there is no play, so I'll give them that. Does look like it's ground a bit off-center. And it definitely sits off-center. Considerably so. Okay. Can we go a little bit further? Still doesn't want to drop. Still no play, thankfully. Okay, there we go. Okay, that's... Okay, that settles that. That can at least be centered... I mean... It can at least be set without play. I mean, right immediately... The ergos are way better than the AD 20.5. They are. You've got much better choke-ups position. That doesn't feel like I'm going to go into the edge. You've got better jimping. It's not sharp. Like the other AD 20.5 only felt really good when you were going to use it with gloves. I will say that the clip is somewhat noticeable in the hand. It is a deep carry clip, which is nice, but... It is a little noticeable. I think the problem is that it's too low. They prioritized this large lanyard hole. If that clip was moved up just a tad bit and centered a little bit more, I think it would be perfect. It's not, but it's not bad. My card is nice. The inlays are alright. Not great. My card feels good. Patent number, Flytanium S35VN, which is, in my opinion, a more preferable steel than the 20CV I have on mine. Or my AD 20.5. Okay, this is immediately out of the box a slightly more aggressive edge. It's got a slight bit more bite to it, but it definitely feels similar that it might go slick quickly. Just like the AD 20.5 did. That's not great, but not necessarily a fact just yet. Behind the edge thickness, here's where it really matters. Really? No. Hold on. I'm too deep. $23 thousandths. Oops, slipped up a little bit there. $22 to $23 thousandths behind the edge. A little bit better than the AD 20.5, I think. One thing that is slightly noticeable is it doesn't get quite as thick as fast. It's got a slight bit more room to drop. Just a tiny bit more, I think. But it is similarly thick. Thicker than I'd want. Plunge grind is... I mean, there's a choil, but it's not great. This honestly feels like it was made by the same company that made the AD 20.5. Which is not what I was hoping for. Does it say where it was made? No. Okay. So. Initial thoughts. Let's see. Is it the blade that's off center, or is it... The blade doesn't look super off-center, so that means the tip is ground off-center. Interesting. Yeah. No, the blade's a tiny bit off-center, but not too bad. So basically the exact same problem I had with the other one. The tip is ground off-center, and the blade is off-center. Oh, wonderful. Okay. And we have maybe slightly better geometry. Though that front of that blade feels like it gets thick. What are we looking at up top? Okay, still 21, 22 thousandths behind the edge for most of the blade. You can feel it get a little thicker right up in the tip, but as expected. You know what? Hold on. I want to make a direct comparison. I'll be right back. And we're back. Okay, direct comparison. Apples to apples here. So, do we have a blade that is... Yeah, we have just a hair taller of a grind on this one, and that's why it feels different. And the 80/20, for a reminder, was exactly what behind the edge? And remember, this was not sharpened. 25 to 24, I'd say. Oh, no, I'm slipping down. That's my bad. No way, it's 26 right there? Ouch. I don't even think okay. Somewhere it's oscillating around the 25 thousandths behind the edge mark. But the difference definitely is this thing gets much thicker faster. This is still thick, but it doesn't get nearly as thick as quickly. Or not quite as thick as quickly. Yeah, okay, so we're talking about... I'm thinking an average of about 22 thousandths to almost 25 thousandths on this thing. On the original, plus the grind is taller up the blade. Not a lot, but enough for it to be somewhat noticeable. Yeah, I can definitely tell. That's definitely thicker. Okay. So with that said, how are we looking at? We're looking at almost the same amount of handle, a little more blade. Okay, well, I don't like the centering. And I do think that the opening hole is a just strictly better mechanism for this lock because it's breaking in a little bit. Okay, it's not bad. It's smoothing out a little bit. Definitely does feel like there might be something, a little bit of gunk in there. So that may actually just work itself out. Okay. So the thumb studs are fine. I do think the opening hole is a slightly better method, but in this case, you have the opening hole that sits on the flat of the blade. You wouldn't have that much room on this one because it actually has a higher grind. But the overall function of the lock is definitely more satisfying on this one. Feels like there might be more weight in the blade. Is the blade stock the same? Yeah, about the same. Okay, so it feels like there might be some more weight in the blade, and it feels like this one might need some time to break in. Yeah, it's already starting to do a little bit better. Okay. So, of course, this is not a full review. This is just an unboxing, and it's something I wanted to do for the sake of comparisons. So, bad news is, it's still T6 on the body, which is not just the inlays. It is, in fact, the spacers. That goes right into the spacers. So that's wrong. And handles with a T8. T8 doesn't fit in anywhere on this knife. Oh, no, I'm sorry. T8 fits on the thumb studs for some reason. Okay. But the pivot is definitely a T10. So they're little here's your knife thing. It's just fundamentally wrong, which is just interesting. I may contact Flytanium and see if they want to try to get one that's not so off-center before I, or at least show me that they can do one that's not off-center before I do a review on it. Maybe they'll be interested in doing that. I might have to just trade this one in, I don't know. But the blade play is gone. No up, down, left or right now. Actually, I think this might be a little bit stronger, stiffer. Well, not stronger. It doesn't feel stronger, it just feels a little stiffer. That might just be a break-in thing. Okay. So, we've got micarta, aluminum, shark lock, S35. And I got this thing, again, on a sale, just like I got this one. So, I paid like $120 for it, which is about what I paid for this. Come on now. Yeah, the reverse flick's definitely gonna take some getting used to. You can do it, it's just not nearly as satisfying or as easy as it is with this one, because you got just the hole that you just fling into. Takes your nail with it, but it's worked better. I might have to take this thing apart. Well, no, I'm going to contact Flytanium before I take it apart. Yeah. Okay, so. I said this like 4 times now, but we're going to get to it. Ergos, better. Overall design, better. Minus the pocket clip maybe being pushed down a little bit to prioritize that stupid lanyard hole. Overall, I definitely think it's better and it's more comfortable. Jimping is definitely better. This jimping is still a bit sharp and kind of uncomfortable, but definitely better for gloves. But this one feels like it will work with gloves too, and is slightly more softened, so that's good. Plunge grind on this one sucks, though, compared to this one, which actually did the plunge grind well. The plunge grind stops way back here at the... Oh, that is completely out of focus. Way back there, while the plunge grind basically hits the edge on this one. Both are similarly off-center. Both are a little thicker than I would like to say, but this one is much more reasonable. 22 thousandths behind the edge with a slightly higher grind, flat grind up the blade will improve the performance, probably noticeably. It's not going to be a super slicer, but I definitely think this one is going to probably perform better overall as the kind of knife it's meant to be. So basically, both have execution issues. This is the better design. So I guess if you have to get one, or you really want to get one, and you don't mind the slightly trickier reverse flick, you can do it. It just takes a second to get used to. The Arcade's probably the better knife. Gonna have to do this for like an hour to see what the heck, if I can get this thing to smooth out a little bit. But yeah, it already seems like it's smoothing out a little bit. Yeah, okay. Okay, so I'm not too worried about that. So aluminum, micarta with changeable inlays, changeable clips, changeable studs, I think, and whatever. So yeah, Flytanium's the better one. I'm still going to review this thing after I contact Flytanium to see what they want to do. I might say, hey, can you send me one that's not off-center? But I think this is the better knife. Just first impressions. Basically what this maybe should have been to begin with. That's my view. My opinion. And I got a lot of free stuff with it. Even though it was on sale. Yeah, sure, why not? Okay. I'm going to check this knife out, see what they want to do with it. If maybe they want to prove that they can get a straight knife, I don't know. Either way, at some point I'll be carrying and reviewing one of these. And we'll see how they stack up. I'm definitely going to do something about a direct cut test comparison. I don't know if I'm going to do it on video, but you will get the results of that. I might take a few pictures during. So, this was much, much longer and a very unusual unboxing, but there was a lot to discuss here. So, that's going to call things for me today. So, thanks for watching. I'm saying so and a lot, so I'm going to get the hell out of here. Bye. Thanks for watching.